bloke. Do you guys ever do this? You just look at what you've got and you cook what you've got, and it doesn't have to comply with any recipe, it doesn't have to follow any format. You've got foods, it's kind of like, I don't know what else I'm going to have them with, so they can all go in the same pot. I like to cook like that. I look in the cupboards and I see what pulses I've got. Butter beans, kidney beans, or marrow fat peas, or chickpeas, or anything like that. I think, I'll bang some of those in for the nutrition and the protein. What else have I got? So what I usually do is I go shopping every like 2 or 3 months, and I spend about £300 or £400. I fill my chest freezer, and I fill all the cupboards, and when I buy things like butter beans, I'll buy 20 cans, and then 20 cans of kidney beans, and then 10 packs of rice, and 20 jars of curry sauce, and all that sort of thing. So I completely replenish my pantry and the freezer, and the fridge also chock-a-block. So it's nice to wind down and to use absolutely everything. And then right at the end, when you've got a few things, it's kind of like, why haven't I used these? Well, because you don't like them, or you don't want to eat them. For instance, I have lots of bags of this. Now these are wheat twists, whole wheat, and I've never had them before, and so I don't know. Then those sort of things, just crap, just unnutritious wheat. These sort of things, so I will have them from time to time, you know, if the occasion arises. But otherwise I won't bother with this stuff, and so it's kind of like, well, do I want to keep them, or shall I just bin them? So, okay, so I'll probably eat them, you know, just a handful of times a year, maybe. And I'm looking at what I've got today to make a meal out of. And I look into the cupboard and I see that I've got no meats in the freezer. I've just got some stir fries, chicken fajita stir fries and oriental stir fry, and I had one of those last night. I had a beef risotto kind of like rice stir fry, and so I looked in the fridge and I saw what I've got, and I have these ingredients down here. Now, I had 3/4 of an onion. I had these chilies which my neighbour gave me about a week or 10 days ago. They're almost going over, so I thought, well, they'll go in. And I don't just put a couple in or 3. Whatever I've got, it goes in the pot. I'm not fucking about. I've got a whole garlic onion. Then I had 4 spring onions. I've got these mushrooms which are slightly going over, but the thing is about mushrooms, when they start to go mouldy, that's when they become really tasty. So I'm going to cook those whole. They're going to be absolutely beautiful, cooked whole. And then I have a broccoli, and what I do with broccoli, I just break it off into these sort of pieces. Instead of cutting it, I don't like to mess it and cut it. I like these little sprigs, you know. So I'm going to stir fry those in, but I'm going to obviously partially boil them, just so they are kind of like crisp, but not raw, you know. So and then I've got this sauce, and you know, it's a Mediterranean tomato sauce, and so it's very creamy. A rich and indulgent pasta sauce with sweet cherry tomatoes, creamy feta and fragrant basil. Now that's a beautiful sauce. And so I will have that with any variety of chicken, fish or prawns. So today I have one packet of prawns in the freezer. So I've just thawed them out in hot water. So they are beautiful and pink because they're already cooked. Now what I do with these, obviously you can eat these raw and they're super tasty. But I don't put them in whatever I'm cooking, because when you do that they shrink and they go hard and they lose their succulentness. So all I'm going to do with these, because they're already cooked, when I've got all this dish ready to go, then I will just pour some boiling water into those, leave it for a minute until they've warmed through, and then I'll sprinkle those over the top of the meal. So in the pan here I've got olive oil, of course, which is essential. So then I'm going to put in, I think I'm going to leave those to a little bit later. I don't need to overcook those. So I'm going to put the garlic in, put the chilies in, and put the onions in. And the rest of that stuff, that's just going to need warming through. So I'll get this on the stove already. Now the creamy sauce. Okay, so what's that going to go with? Well, it's going to go with any vegetables really. It's going to go beautifully with nice crunchy broccoli. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very happy with crisp, strong spring onions, and the mushrooms are going to be absolutely succulent and beautiful. Again, I don't cook them, 100%. I tend to just mostly warm my foods through, and then throw on top those shrimps. Now obviously with all those chilies it's going to be pretty spicy, but I never shy away from a good spicy meal, and I don't care how spicy it is. That's why I just bang them all in. And if it really, well, I'll just deal with it. Have a couple of beers first, really work up an appetite, and then get me eyes watering. Wow, yes, bring it on. And so I'm like, well, I'm trimming down, I'm emptying the cupboards. And so the next meal I'm going to be having is sometimes I like this chicken in white sauce, and I'll throw some chilies in with that, or I'll put some chili flakes in. Then I'll have it with rice or pasta, or maybe even roasted potatoes from the freezer, anything like this. I'm going to make a meal like that because this chicken is beautiful. Another thing I've got is a Chinese style curry, and of course it's very mild. It's like chip shop curry sauce, and so I tend to spice that up with chilies and more garlic and onions, and I will have it with any meat really. Probably prawns, but I don't have any prawns left now, so it's a case of, well, what do I have left? Maybe it'll just be a vegetable curry. I have to grab a couple more vegetables from the supermarket, but I like to completely wind down everything. Most certainly empty the freezer, otherwise all you're doing is putting stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff, and you never really get to the bottom, and then before you know it, you've had stuff in the freezer for like years, and it's probably not the best. And so also what it does is, if you're buying things and you think, oh, I'll try this and I'll try that, and by the time you go to your freezer, oh, what do you fancy, what do you fancy, what do you fancy, then you leave things that you're not particularly fancying to the end. And so then, you know, well, maybe not get too carried away when I'm buying those in the future. It's kind of like the stir fries. I mean, the stir fries is a lazy meal. And I like these stir fries because they're very relatively inexpensive. They're full of fresh vegetables and chicken or whatever you've got. They really are a good deal. And I have them in thick white bread with copious amounts of cold butter from the fridge, and I put several spoons in, and I have those like fajitas, and it's absolutely incredible. So I've got meditation music on in the background, people, and then through the window you can hear the church bells going. So we're chilling out today, baby. And then it's kind of like, what else have I got? What am I going to be liable to be eating? I've got like half a packet of egg noodles, and it's kind of like I could actually have these with that. But then I'm thinking, oh, egg noodles with that, with some more vegetables, whatever. No big deal, is it? Egg noodles with that. Just try this shit, see what works, people. But I've never had a meal that I went, this is shit, and I throw it away. Right, when you're cooking, I don't know, lots of you, I guess you don't cook, you men, and I don't know, I know even women that don't really cook. They just mostly microwave or just do simple meals, but they don't really get involved with, you know, all this sort of stuff. But look at that. I mean, the golden onions and garlic and chilies and the olive oil, that's just beautiful. Now, they're all partially cooked. And I don't need to get too carried away with overcooking them, and so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the sauce in. I'm going to turn down the heat. It doesn't need to be that hot. Now, often this is so nice, I have to get a spoon in there to get out all the dregs, because it really is a very tasty sauce, and I don't want to waste any of that. Getting a few more spoonfuls out of that. What make is this? A Tesco. Tesco is, you know, really good. And I can get very tempted to put this spoon in my mouth. But then I'll end up with my fingers in the jar going like this, because I'm starving hungry. I've been to the gym, I've got a good appetite, but I'm doing this 18-hour fasting thing, so I won't be eating till my evening meal, 5 o'clock tonight. And if I start, I'm going to get the taste for food, and then it's kind of like, what else have I got? So stop it. Just stop it, okay? Right. So in relation to this fasting thing, some of you will be aware that I started to have some sort of diet thing going on. Reducing my beer from, you know, some days I'll have 2 Guinness and 1 bottle of Newcastle Brown, but what I'm trying to do these days is just leave it a little bit longer and just have the bottle of Newcastle Brown and then go straight into the meal. So cut out the 300 calories for the 2 Guinness. So 300 calories, no real big deal, but incrementally. So I've lost just over 2 kilos, which is about 5 pounds. And how long's that been? I don't know, 6 weeks. I'm not deadly serious, you know, about it, but I am desirous to do it. And as long as I get it done for the height of the summer, then when I can take my shirt off in the churchyard and stand in the sun, or sit down reading my book, I'm not like pinching an inch on my stomach, you know, feeling let down with myself. I don't like letting myself down. So back to the cooking, right? We've got that there, and gonna bang these in. Wow, they're looking incredible. Gonna bang them in. And I think in actual fact I won't be putting the broccoli in here because that's all going to get messy. I'm just going to be cooking the broccoli separately. So I'll boil up a kettle of water and cook those only for about 10 minutes, and that'll be perfect. And I want this on a real, yeah, it's on 3, or it's on 3. It's on pretty low, but I don't want it to boil away furiously because I don't want to, you know, burn the cream. There's cream and feta cheese in there. So right. So by the time that's done, then guys and girls, then I'm going to have the nice crisp broccoli and just the warm through prawns, and I'm going to put scatter those over the top and put them on the side, and then you'll see that most delicious and tasty meal. And I'm really looking forward to it now. Wow, it's going to be absolutely delicious. So I'll make the sequel and I'll speak about how it tastes, but it's gonna be I could just spoon it down now, raw. I don't care anymore, you know, when we get hungry. Wow. But the thing is about getting hungry, people, everything tastes absolutely fantastic. So when you see me doing Cooking Bloke videos, and I've had a couple of beers and I've got an appetite and I've not eaten anything all day and I've been to the gym and, you know, I've done all that stuff, I'm ready to go. The body is ready to go, and then it's like, whoa, everything is amazing. So I don't ever have bad meals. I don't ever have mediocre meals. It just doesn't happen. Food is a very, very incredible experience for me, as some of you would have gathered. So, there you have it, people. I'll catch you later on.